Boom, baby. We are live. What is up? It's me, MLD. And get ready for the most informal, long, super detailed stream of your life so you can understand the truth about attracting women that nobody's telling you on today's episode of Interview with the Man, episode 887. What is up, everybody? So I'm still here in Las Vegas. I'm leaving. I'm flying out tonight. Long day, dude. We are just cranking out all of the stuff here. As you guys don't know, I am working one-on-one with Alex Hormozi and his team at acquisition.com. We are taking the brand to a whole new level because if you keep doing the same things in business as time goes on, you know, all your skills naturally are going to erode over time. So you have to, as a man, if you want to be competitive in the world, you have to be constantly evolving. And that's what I am doing. I am practicing what I preach. You guys see me grow and develop over the years as I basically live streamed my life. And it's a long, arduous task you got to do. But the other alternative is you know, you wither away. If you're not growing, you're dying. And I'm trying to grow, bros. I don't know about you. Um, I am sitting in the most uncomfortable position. There is nowhere comfortable to sit in this freaking house. So today's episode is going to be actually really long, really informal. And so, like, if you're just like a lazy person and you don't really want to apply and change your life and do the things necessary, this is not the episode for you. But I am going to show you exactly with extreme amounts of detail what it actually takes to be good with women. Okay. A lot of you guys think that, you have a, as a man, like if you get older, you can't attract younger women, or if whatever excuse you have in your head, it's probably not true. And the bottom line is you just don't understand female psychology and a woman's mind. That's it. It's not super simple. You don't need six pack abs. You don't need a Ferrari. You don't need all these supercars. And even if you did have all those things, that's actually even more proof that you would need even more game just to sustain the fact of like not getting finessed by a chick. Like, because when you have money, when you have clout, when you have assets, you have a bigger target on your back. You don't even realize it. And if you don't understand female nature, if you don't understand women, you don't understand, how things work with ladies, you're just only a matter of time before you screw your life up. The majority of guys who have success with women, they're usually not really that good with women. It's like a factor of luck to a degree. That's when a lot of guys get cheated on, or when they get dumped, or they get divorced. They're like, "Oh, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming," because you don't have game. You don't understand the truth about male and female relationships, and that's okay because most people don't. I mean, that's why I've been able to have like a gigantic business that's done so well over all these years, is because I actually understand these stuff, right? And so another part is like it does take a lot of work to understand this stuff. Like I'm probably the only person who's going to get on here and be completely real with you, because you know from what has been happening in the manosphere space and the red pill space, like person after person is just getting exposed, and like people are like going off into talking about different things than other than female nature, and helping men with the number one problem in their life, their women problem, right? And that's what we're doing here on this channel. And I don't really care about making the most fancy message and all that stuff, because this stuff is extremely difficult and extremely hard. But the only thing that's going to be harder and more difficult is a life of loneliness, heartache, and being used and abused by woman after woman because you don't understand what you're doing. And I just totally want to do the right thing, which is to help my fellow brothers out. That's you guys out there. And then so one thing is also we've been doing this poll. Shout out to all the guys in the Fresh and Fit Discord. There's a guy named Spear, and I've been like just kind of hanging out in the Fresh and Fit Discord because I'm trying to like, I don't ever use Discord. I have one, but like I was trying to like just learn and understand what's going on. And you know, Bills has been helping me out, and he's been showing me some cool stuff with Discord. And you know, these guys sent out that survey yesterday. I just asked everybody to come to my live stream. So if you didn't know, yesterday, as I said, I'm working with Alex Hormozi, his team at acquisition.com. And I'm a guy that like I got my notes and everything yesterday from the workshop that we did. And then I immediately implemented those things. And one thing we were doing is this survey. So I'm actually going to put it here real quick. Okay. This survey right here is totally free. Okay. I don't even ask for an email. It's like right here in the chat. But what's important is that if you're a man and you are having trouble with any kind of dating related stuff, there is a 4-question survey that I just put in the chat, and you'll see it right here. See, look, the message got cut off, but it's this thing right here. So it's the type form. It's in the chat right now. It's on yesterday's video. I'll probably pin it in today's comment video as well. If not, my timestamp guy will. And just fill it out because of you guys in the Fresh and Fit Discord and my guys too. We actually had 221 people fill that out. One girl filled it out, even though I said it's men only, but she wants to learn how to get a husband. So there are good women out there, guys. She's actually filling out a survey trying to get a good husband. But I need to actually start getting data because the Hormozi team, they're all about data, right? And so I need raw data from you guys, and just be honest. Like, don't just be as real as possible. Take as much detailed time as you need, but like literally, it's a 4-second survey. I honestly don't even think it takes 30 seconds. It probably takes you literally like 15 seconds. Shout out to Dr. B. What's up? Married after 6 months, bro. Who's that? Me? I'm not married. Oh, currently married, definitely getting used and abused. Can confirm. Yeah. Is your girl currently doing that to you now? That's terrible, bro. Manny says, WMLD, you're an inspiration, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. So appreciate you guys. So look, okay. We're not gonna go into comment review. We're not gonna do anything. Okay, we're gonna go straight into this. So now here's the thing. The number one reason that you guys are bad with women is very, 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 very simple. Okay. And it's just you do not practice enough. That's it. That's it. You do not practice enough. You do not make enough cold approaches. You don't talk to real women in real life. And after being back in America now, I'm in the United States of America. I've moved back here. And, since I've been here, I've noticed the number one thing that American men are struggling with, and that is fear. You guys are afraid. You guys are afraid to do anything. You're afraid to cold approach a girl. You're afraid just to walk up to a girl and be like, hey, how's it going? I'm John. Nice to meet you. I thought you're cute. I wanted to say what's up. Like, you're doing what we're supposed to do as humans, which is procreate and die. Like, that's why you want to have sex. You want to have sex because your body's telling you, make children, procreate, get out there. That's the number one reason. That's the only reason, right? And yeah, is it red pilled hard after marriage? Unfortunately, well, dude, you send me if you're on the Discord, just send me a DM. I'll help you out, bro. That's terrible, but I'll help you out. That's easy. We got you, bro. No, cancer culture messed up the game. No, men being afraid, guys. It's being afraid, okay? Because here's the thing. The man, I got this from Alex, and I'm gonna tell you guys, right? The man with half of the intelligence, but twice the bravery will always beat the man with 3 times the intelligence, but half the bravery. As a man, it is your duty to be brave. As a man, it is your duty to face your fears. As a man, it is up to you to take risk and push forward. Because think about it. If the Wright brothers said, "Oh, I don't want to build a plane. We're going to stay here and ride horses on the ground or cars or whatever, because going in the plane, we could fall, crash, and die." What if Elon Musk was like, "You know what? Like Mars is so far. I don't know. We shouldn't go to Mars." You know? No, he's taking risk, right? For you guys to do investments, right? You look at the stock market, you look at gold. Gold hit another all-time high today, by the way. M2 money supply is up as well, by the way. So you got all these investments that are blowing through the roof. And if you just knew in 2023, like, okay, Trump's definitely going to win. Let's make some investments now, bet on the election, get out. I mean, you would have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Even if you didn't have that much to invest, you would have made, like, even if you invested 1,000, you could have like 3x the money. And it's free money, but you got to take the risk. And all your problems as a man all stem to not taking action. And the majority of men don't take action because they are afraid. And they're afraid because they think that they are not good enough. They are not capable enough, that they cannot do the thing that they want. And when you consistently tell yourself in your brain, women won't like me because I'm black. Women won't like me because I'm fat. Women won't like me because I'm short. Women won't like me because I'm Spanish. Women won't like me. She won't like me because of this. She won't. Oh, so what are you? You're a mind reader now? So every woman in the world, you're the special snowflake that all women know about, and that you're not good enough for any of them. Okay? You know, I'm reading a book right now, and it's a really eye-opening. I said reading, but I'm really listening to a book, right? I'm going to show it to you real quick, because it's really eye-opening. This book is called "Same as Ever" by Morgan Housel, right? And this is the guy that wrote the book, The Psychology of Money. And Dr. B says, "Don't you think men made afraid though?" I think men have always been afraid. I think our general awareness of things has made us afraid. Imagine if men didn't have social media and they didn't know about cancel culture. Okay. I mean, let's talk about that. Look at some of everybody's heroes in here. Myron and Fresh from Fresh and Fit. They got demonetized. Their number one revenue source was taken away from them. And they're still here standing, and they're still doing great. I know people may not like him. I don't fully align with all his views, but I do fully align with free speech. And I'm talking about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes was completely demonetized, completely deplatformed, completely taken off the no-fly list. He couldn't even fly planes. And now he's the 5th largest streamer in the whole planet, making millions of dollars most likely, and doing really good for himself. You know? And so we're men. It is, guys, comfort kills you as a man. The more comfortable you are, the fatter you get, the weaker you get, the softer you get. And also that happens up here. You get soft, weak, and fat up here in your brain as well. You know, you're supposed to embrace hard times. You're supposed to embrace struggle, right? It's it's in all of like the badass modern media today. Like, when you talk about like Dragon Ball Z, the Super Saiyans, right? The Saiyans always get stronger after they lose. They get their asses beat, but they come back stronger. That's like the pride of the Saiyan race. And you are no different. Okay? I mean, I always talk about myself. Look at my story. My life story is fucking crazy, came from like I did not know what peace in my childhood felt like. I didn't know what having food in the fridge was like until we finally got some stability when we were like 16, 17 years old. Before that, it was just starving was just like a norm. Like getting a can of ravioli. We didn't even get like Chef Boyardee ravioli. We got like the purple Great Value cans of ravioli. Any of my people out there struggling, you know what I'm talking about? The Great Value ravioli. That was $1. I remember eating those as a kid. I'm just like, eat the whole thing in like 30 seconds and still be hungry. I'd overcome all of that. I got wrongfully arrested last year for speeding in Hawaii, sitting in jail all night by myself. That fucking sucked, right? You guys, you have to understand, when bad things happen to you, when you overcome them, that's a kind of confidence that nobody can buy. Okay. And so I said all that to say this: repetition is the number one reason you are bad with women. It's the lack of repetition. You guys don't even talk to a girl a month. You guys don't even talk to a girl every 3 months. You don't do cold approaches. You kind of like shoot DMs here and there on Instagram, but you're like, that's not a viable solution to your problems. Okay. Dr. B has been a member for 54 months, brother. Thank you for your support. Stand up straight to get this. Weightlifting is hard, but it makes me mentally stronger. Absolutely. When that happens, I become physically stronger. Absolutely. And the mentally stronger. It's a positive feedback cycle. Yeah. And you realize that they've just released some data to show, which we all kind of knew in the red pill community. But, see, this is brutal. Food says true. I haven't talked to a female in 4 years, yeah, man, that's statistically speaking, you're going to die alone if you don't take some action. It's the bottom line. So, but they did a study going back to what Dr. B said, and they found out that gym exercise consistently, lifting weights in the gym, is like way better for your mental health than taking prescription drugs, because prescription drugs, all they do is just mask the symptoms of why you feel bad. They don't address the root cause. So the suffering continues because you don't address the root issue. Okay. So I said all that to say this. We're going to review this video by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Alex Hormozi. Because I watched this the other day. Alex has started live streaming, right? Because he started meeting a bunch of people, and he started meeting all these people from his events. And he was like, geez, all like the famous people in the world, they're all live streaming. And then, little business like me and stuff, like I technically I've always been a one-man show, but the modern life dating business and brand has generated several $1 million. If you A, know what you're talking about, B, know how to deliver it, and C, you're like an ethical person, you're like not a piece of trash, the world's your oyster. In any field. Just getting someone to show up on time nowadays is a miracle. The fact that you're in here watching self-improvement stuff on like a Wednesday afternoon, instead of like indulging in one of the millions and millions of vices out there that'll just destroy you, you alone, like you there listening to me right now, you are special, So you should have faith and confidence in yourself. And, you can absolutely build more confidence by making more wins. But if you never take any action, then you never win, because you're staying the same. Right. Dr. B, $10 super chat says, I physically lifted my way out of depression in 2021. Never had to take a pill, bro. Yeah. And I feel you. Like when Andrew Tate says depression's not real, I'm sorry. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. It is real. I'm not saying it should be a crutch, but there's a reason it happens, and there's a way to get out of it. And usually good sleep, clean food, organic, clean food, cooked at home, no seed oils, and proper gym, like 5 days a week. That is a good baseline to be starting to feel good about yourself. So Taloa says, what's up? Listening from 6:37 a.m. Thanks for working all day. So we'll talk next week, pal. We have our one-on-ones. We're going to be booking them. If you're in the Masculine Empowerment Network, by the way, guys, we're doing a bonus webinar, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this upcoming Monday. So mark your calendars. Anthony Estrella, my old friend. This is a guy who saw me make the come up from bum to where I am now. Okay. But anyways, let's go on, because I want to talk about this. So Alex Hormozi has started live streaming, and I watched this because I constantly edify myself. And AA Fusion, that's right. Sorry, bro. Million things going on here, bro. Thank you so much, showing up for becoming a member. If you guys want to become a member, it's dirt cheap. It just helps me. The only reason I tell people do it because it helps me in the algorithm. I'm one of the few people in this area of the internet that's still monetized. I take pride in that, because I don't really go down the crazy route. Oh, dude, you're the man. Thank you so much. Five friggin' memberships, gifting them. Appreciate you. Anthony says, I love you too, man. You've always been a great friend over all these years, and I appreciate you watching me now. And just rounding it back, because like I said, even me personally, remember, people thought I was crazy and like making things up, and I'm like, no, like my numbers are being like, people are being unsubscribed from the channel. My people are clicking like and the video is getting unliked. My views are going down. My numbers are going down. Like I'm watching this stuff and I'm like, I know it's the government, because it all adds up to what happened in Andrew Tate when he got arrested in 2022. And in 2023, that's when my TikTok was deleted that had literally 20 million plus views on it. You guys may have not known. My TikTok was even bigger than Fresh and Fits when it got deleted. I had like literally 20 million plus views on that one baby TikTok that I started that year. So, and then since then I had to deal with all that, and then I had to deal with like all this crazy stuff, just nonsense after nonsense. And then there's going to be I know you guys like drama, and I'm only going to do this to clear my name, but if you want some drama, it's coming soon. And I win. Spoiler alert, right? I win. You're going to see, this is going to be hilarious. This is going to be really fun. So, that being said, another thing is this, where the tide is turning, guys, because us men like you, men like me, we fought against the system. We fought against censorship. We fought against the wrongdoings of the government under that time. And we're winning. The culture is turning around because of people like you. Because if you're there watching me right now, that means you're living a life that is somewhat congruent with the values we preach on these podcasts and stuff. And because of guys like you, you don't put up with shit from people. You don't put up, I know how simping for girls and doing all that crap that's adding to the smorgasbord of crap that's going on in the world. And, because of people like you, you are part of the resistance, guys. We are the resistance, and we're winning. Because you know why? Because we're right. Because we're masculine men. Because we're contributors. Okay, people in this chat are like big killers, dude. This kid right here, not Mormon anymore. He writes, men are waking up and becoming stronger. Government's trying to stop the silence the uprising. This kid alone does $200,000 a month, or $200,000 a year in sales, and he's not even a full business owner yet. We got Dr. B in the chat. This guy, A Fusion, buying people memberships. Like, we have a competent group of people, and the number one enemy is to become black-pilled, to become filled with despair, to become filled with hopelessness. If that happens, then nothing can save you. You're cooked. Never lose faith, never lose heart, and never, ever, ever start turning on yourself and attacking yourself. The whole world's already talking shit about us, right? You don't need to do it too. Okay? Remember that. Never doom. Exactly. Never doom. Dr. B, I make $400K a year. My man, let's go. Oh man, I fucking love you guys. Anyway, so let's jump right into it, because this is a long one. So he did a live stream, and I want to just talk about, because he goes over so much principles. And that's why, like I said, and this is not a dig at anybody, but you guys, you're never going to see me like pivot and like start talking about politics, or pivot or start talking about personal branding, or I may start talking about making money online, because so many, even in the survey that I sent out, guys are like, can you teach us how to make money online, how to make money, how to invest money? And the only reason I do it is because I personally have generated, millions for myself as a one-man army. And that's part of what I preach: make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. But you're never going to see me like, start becoming a conspiracy channel, or I'm going to go into politics or anything like that. It's always going to be dating. It's always going to be masculine self-improvement. And that's it. I'm never going to pivot. I'm only going to continue to stay in this lane and get better and better and better and better. And that's why as I get older, as I continue to do this, I refine everything in my mind. And what we're doing now, we have a big secret project that we're working on. I'll just tell you what I'm actually doing. I'll say it. So what I'm working on right now, okay? So as you guys know, I have coached literally more than 5,000 people with my programs since 2019, right? Some of those guys have gone on to be multimillionaires. Myron, other people. If you look at the legal mindset, that guy used to be one of my students, really good friend of mine to this day. He's crushing it. He has more live stream viewers and friggin' he's murdering it, right? A lot of these guys have. And so we recorded all of these coaching sessions. So I literally have at least 400 individual coaching sessions that are filmed and that they're on average 2 hours long. So some are really long though, right? And so what happened is they're all stored in a database. So this is what I'm doing. We're in the process right now of transcribing all of it. Transcribing means taking the audio from the video and turning it into words. And then we're labeling everything properly, putting in a PDF. And then what we're doing, because it's taking a lot of time, we only started this project like 2 weeks ago. And then we're going to take all the PDFs and then we're going to master feed them into several AIs. And we're going to be looking for pattern recognition. We're going to be looking for what's the number one thing men have been struggling who came to my programs, the kind of guys that were able to turn around, the kind of guys that were not able to turn around. And we're going to have some really delicious raw data that's going to help us even more optimize fixing your lives at home. This is what we're doing here with Modern Life Dating. So really excited about that. I'm so really, really passionate about using AI, and I use AI every day, guys. I am an AI-aholic. I talk to AI more than I talk to humans. It's probably not a good idea right now, but I'm in that grind phase of my life. And it's funny because Alex is doing the same thing. Alex Hormozi. They recorded everything from their training sessions that they did with all of their clients, and then they fed it all into an AI, and then they made their own AI. So I'm kind of looking into making my own AI as well, like the Money Muscles Game Frame AI or masculine empowerment network. But I'm still trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. But first things first, I want to look with the data. Because if I could have access to if I could read the text message data that happened on Bumble and Tinder and just see what was working, what wasn't working, but a red pill lens, dude, I would have the ultimate strategy for men and women, right? So that's what we're doing over here. And we're going to keep going. It's going to be super lit. So let's go. Let's talk about this episode today. Yeah, we will. AAG, we will. That's a good one. So take a look here. Let's go. So this is this thing. He calls it the Hormozi hotline. Okay. I think it's a really cool concept. And it's just the first 45 minutes. I'm going to not play it at slow speed, but I want you to listen to what he says. And I'm going to add my commentary because this is applicable for everything. Okay. The biggest problem guys have when it comes to actually getting good with women is your emotions and feelings are involved. And those emotions and feelings are usually related to yourself. So you can't logically look at the situation and be emotionally detached from it in order to get the outcome you desire, which is sex with a woman. Okay. And so we are going to talk about that right now. And then, yeah, Jason, that artist says, yeah, that was a good watch. Jason's one of the guys in my monthly coaching. And I told him to watch the first 45 minutes of this, and looks like he did. So congratulations to you, Jason.
Which I think is Japanese for speakers. You all can hear me on your micrófonos, which I think is Japanese for speakers. It's not. But let me know so I can see, because I got my little chat screen here, so I can what's everybody wild for this year are as you guys are hopping on. I told you that my two kind of themes for this year are live and interactive for my media. And so I'm telling you guys right now, that's, I mean, if you guys make content, I'll tell you my cards. Like we just started. And so we're going to be doing this more. I'll tell you why, a couple reasons, and then I'll get into the stuff I want to talk about today. I think that fundamentally we have to do stuff we like, which sounds kind of obvious. And so if you want to do a tremendous amount of volume of anything, like it's very hard to do it if you don't enjoy it. And so
that's a big part too. Like when guys tell me like, you know, I don't feel like doing cold approach, or I'm not in a good mood, like then if you do not want to do it, don't do it. But if you do want to figure out girls, and you do want to eventually get a girlfriend, and do want to eventually get a wife, or you don't have to, like, you know, I don't illegally agree with all the draconian shit in America, right? With the marriage contracts, but you know what I mean? Like in that context, like a life partner. Okay. You have to like understand that, one, if you're always in a bad mood or bitter about women, you're never going to have success with women. You can't be bitter and be like, I hate women. Women are trash. Blah. Okay. Like that's just very unattractive, first of all. And second of all, like that's just very weird. And you probably don't hate women. You probably just hate your mom. That's like way deeper conversation though. But you know, that's what he's saying is very, very true. You have to like what you do. Like I like talking to beautiful girls. Like I like when I feel like, that's another thing too, guys. When you guys are like worried, when you see a girl and you feel like genuinely attracted to her, this is really important. First major lesson of today's video. Okay. If you look at a girl and you see her and you're like, damn, like, dude, I have to talk to this girl. Just go talk to her. Just go talk to her. Because it's going to do two things. One, it's going to psychologically program your mind that you are a man that goes for what he wants, period. And then next time you see something you want, you're like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. Okay. But when you feel that attraction for a girl and you approach her and you get her, dude, nobody can give you that kind of confidence. See, nobody wants to talk about this shit because everybody's such a faggot and they want to like tiptoe around all this, the real masculine achievements that men want. But when you see a beautiful girl and you make the approach and you go on a date with her and you have sex with her and she likes you, that is the most confidence building thing you can do for yourself as a man. Men chase money, men chase clout, men chase status, men chase a great body in the gym. They chase everything in order to like sidestep and get to the girls that they want, because they'll think, oh, well, because I have this represents money, clout, status, fame, Instagram followers, fucking Bitcoin, whatever. Oh, because I have this, now you like me, right? Terrible. It's terrible for yourself because you get the girl and in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, oh, she just likes me because I have money. Oh, she just likes me because I'm fucking tall, or she just likes me because I have this or that. And another thing is when you lead with that, you attract women that want this and you are just in the way, and she's willing to make a deal with the devil to get what she wants, and she'll put up with you in the meantime, but eventually she'll kick your ass out because she doesn't like you. Does that make sense? Is this too complicated? I told you it was going to be hard, but there's nobody else. Like there is nobody else on the internet dropping game like this, period. There's nobody dropping it this direct and telling you the nuanced nitty gritty in and outs of this. So chat, let me know, because I'm here and I want to know, like, does that first concept make sense to you? When you see a girl and you're genuinely attracted to her, you have to go and shoot your shot. You got to do it. You have to, because you cannot lose 100% of the time. There is going to be one time or two or three. And the more you practice, the higher this number goes up, where you will get the girl. Is that clear to you guys in the chat? Let me know. Just put a 1 if it's clear. Put a 2 if you don't understand. I'm going to drink some Diet Pepsi. Diet Coke. I'm also on Wi-Fi, so God knows if this is even coming in. AHJC's got the 1. Okay. We are understanding. One person's understanding. Praise the Lord.
I've kind of taken the perspective yet again, and I think this is like a calibration thing. Like you do stuff you like, you find a portion of it that works really well, you do a ton of that, and then you kind of go off over here, and then you're like, okay, I don't like this anymore. And so you kind of come back to center. And so I enjoy talking to you guys more than anything else, which is why that's kind of the center pillar of what I'm going to be doing for media strategy going forward. As a result, though, I think we'll be able to put out like a huge amount more volume, because me trying to think of like, hey, you know, what's a really interesting topic that I can bring on today or riff on today is different than just like helping you guys solve your problem specifically. And so the way that today's going to be structured is same as last week. I'm going to do a quick kind of top of mind thing that I've been thinking a lot about. And then I'm going to be answering questions from y'all. All right. So to do the job your love thing, Sammy, by the way, hilarious. And like everybody knows what she's saying, but there's some hilarious meme accounts on that are just like S tier. All right. With that being said, I'm going to do a quick YouTube intro so you guys can actually see this in like real time, how we do it. And then I'm going to get into my little mini topic of today. All right. So I have used one strategy to win repeatedly across 13 years in business and also outside of business. And it's one of the biggest reasons that we had a $105 million launch for $100 million money models in 72 hours for my latest book. And I'm going to explain why it's the highest risk-adjusted return move that you can make to win more in business or just win more in life. And so if you're not sure what to do right now within your specific business, no matter what industry or size business you're in or whatever goal you're pursuing, this will help. So that's my YouTube intro. Not bad, right? All right. So here's the deal. I talk about more, better, new a lot, but I want to dive into the one that is near and dear to my heart, the one that has made me the man that I am, which is more. And I want to talk about that because the fundamental question that every single business owner needs to answer, and even every person pursuing any skill or endeavor needs to answer, is why.
Right. So that's what, when anytime you hear business owner or whatever, really what you should listen is, I'm a guy, like any guy who's trying to figure out his dating, because that's you right now. Okay. Listen to what he says when he's saying more. You guys, and he's going to elaborate on this more, but I say this from a place of love and compassion, and like, you know, like I'm your bros, like, and especially you guys who met me, you guys know I'm literally exactly the fucking same on YouTube as I am in real life. Like, you're like, people are like, wow, you're like not putting on a show. Like, you're really like this crazy. I'm like, yes, this is all real. This is me. I am an existing human. There's not a show here. And what he's saying is like, it's more. And what I'm trying to like get through to you guys is, you have to do volume. You have to talk to a lot of girls. You have to put in a lot of time. I make it look easy because I've always had a girlfriend since I was 13 years old, because I grew up raised by women, right? So I was raised by women. So I just never, like, I just saw how crazy and fucked up women were behind the scenes, like all the time. I was like, these girls, like, I'm like, that girl's probably crazy too. That girl's probably crazy too. Like, so I was just never afraid to talk to women. You guys are afraid to women because, one, you think they're like this perfect goddess of a person, and society's like constantly jerking them off, so they act like it, especially in America. And then two, you just don't have enough experience with women to understand like they're very flawed people, just like you and I are, because we're humans. We're all flawed. And you think she's perfect, and you are actually probably better than her because you have a self-awareness, and you're like, I'm working on myself. Like, you have this idea of where you want to be, who you want to be, the man you want to be. And you know you're not there, and you know you're in that grind phase towards it. And so you kind of have like this feeling of, you know, I'm not finished. I'm not who I want to be yet. And so you're like thinking, because you're this unfinished person, that you're not good enough, and that she's this finished person because you desire her. But that's just not the case at all. Okay. So you have to understand repetition, volume, repetition, volume, repetition, volume. Okay. It's so important. It's the most important thing. The most important thing.
Can't I do more? And for most people, doing more is the answer. And it's far more common that it is more. Now, what's very sneaky about more is that you get to a point and then you say, there's no way I can do more. And at that point is where the big unlocks in volume really occur, right? And so Napoleon had this really great quote back in the day, and maybe it's misattributed to him, but he said, quantity has a quality unto itself. Meaning, like, if you do so much volume, you do so much work, and in the military sense, if you just have so many people, at some point it takes on its own quality of the amount of work, the amount of people, the amount of volume that you're putting into something, whatever it is that you want to break through. Louis, can you zoom in on my notes real quick? Because you're moving all over. I can't see what you're saying. Okay, so big picture. I wanted to give you a couple cool little anecdotes to reinforce this. So some of you guys know about Sharon. He was on the live with me. He's our president at ACQ. I'll tell you two stories about Sharon that really drove this home. And I can tell you so many of them in my life. But one of them about Sharon that really, like, I'll tell you the moment where, like, we went from being friends to me being like, man, I really want him to be, you know, president of acquisition.com. So he was talking about how he was growing Real. And so Real is a $200 million or was a $200 million per year business at their $200 million market cap. So they're publicly traded. And he was talking about the business, and he had grown it from 200 million to 1.2 billion in less than 3 years, so like 30 months. All right. And I want to put that there as a moment for you guys to think about that, how insane that is. 200 million to 1.2 billion, less than 3 years. How does he do it? We're having dinner, and he says, I just did 260 events in the last 365 days. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I flew around and I did every single real estate event. I spoke on every single stage. And that's how I generated, more demand for our platform for realtors.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me at dinner, I was like, this guy, he gets it. Now we've been friends for years, but seeing him so tactically involved in the business and being like, that was the thing that took a $200 million business to $1.2 million, just sheer volume. Now, most people.
That's a 6X. He 6X the business in less than 3 years. That's insane. That's very, very, very hard to do. 6X, guys.
People might hear that and think, well, yeah, I speak on stages one time a month. And, I'm on stages all the time. It's like, no, you're not on stages all the time. You have no idea what being on stages all the time actually means. And so most business owners wildly underestimate the amount of volume, one, that is required, and two, that they are capable of.
Bingo, right there. So let's talk about that in dating terms, right? How many of you guys have been on like pickup forums and like pickup artists or like whatever, like, where guys like are just talking about like trying to get better with women, right? And you have a guy and he does like one cold approach a week and he has like a 10 fucking page essay. Like, I was wearing this belt buckle. It was 10:34 at night. We were standing out front of the bar. I saw this girl. She was kind of dope. She was kind of chubby. She was this and that. And, I cold approached her. She smoked her cigarette. She went like this. And I walked up to her. I was like, hey, do you believe in magic? And you're just like, I read that and I'm like, okay, if you have this much time to write a 9,000 page essay on a 6 that rejected you, you could be doing more cold approaches. You could be talking to more girls. Period. Social hours should be tracked and calculated into your dating life. Okay. How much time are you spending outside? This is probably ruining your dating life. Because on here, you can get porn. You can fucking talk to OnlyFans girls. You can swipe on dating apps and think you're doing some shit. But you need to go outside and talk to chicks every single day until you find a girl that you like. Period. Okay? And if a girl is nasty to you or rude to you, okay, that is on her. She's the fucked up person, not you. So don't take that shit personally, right? One thing I do, because I'm in America now, right? And so like when I'm talking, I'm getting a little cold. I got the AC blasting. Did anybody blast the AC in their house and just like put on blankets and just, I don't know, I always do. I make sure I blast the AC, then I put on blankets. I don't know, I feel comfortable. Shout out to my friend. He's paying the power bill here. So, but you ever do that? You ever do like, oh shit, what was I saying? Fucking blanked out there talking about fucking this blanket. What was I saying? Help me out, chat. I lost my time. I lost my minute there. Fuck. You got to go outside. You got to do hours. You got to talk to chicks. You have to put in the time. You have to go out there and put out the time. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about that. And, when it comes down to the actual being successful, and with women, like you got to do the numbers. You have to do volume. Like, oh, okay, yeah. No, that's right. The girl. Thank you, Jason. You're the man, buddy. Appreciate you. Love you, man. You're a good guy. What I do here in the States now, okay? So there's a lot of crazy bitches out there. And women are really good at being deceptive up front to try and get what they want, right? So one thing you can do, here's another tip, okay? The number one indicator that a woman likes you is compliance. Okay, that means she listens to you, she follows you, she doesn't fucking argue with you. If a woman likes to argue, that is a very toxic personality trait, and that is a problem with her. And you're not supposed to fix people's problems. If they want to argue, that's somebody that's going to make your life very bad. They will make your life very bad. Okay. So you have to like screen for compliance. All right. So what I like to do is what I do nowadays. If I'm on a dating profile, right? Anywhere there, I'll put like, if you read this, and I'll put like somewhere in the middle of the paragraph, I'm like, if you've read this, send me a pineapple, right? So that I know when the girl like just says, "Oh hey, what's up?" Da, 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 like I know, okay, this chick either is a dumbass, she really likes me for like my pictures and thinks I'm attractive, or she's just on this for validation. But when I see a pineapple, I know, okay, this girl swiped, she chose me, she read my profile, and she's following instructions. At least I know there is some sort of genuine desire or attraction for me there. And from there, you can build on it, right? Because sometimes you guys will be texting girls and getting involved with girls, and then they like blow up on you and they're like, "Oh, you motherfucker." And like they crash out on you or whatever. And then you're like, damn, what the fuck? Like, didn't see that coming because you weren't looking for it. And then you take it personally. And when the reality is she's just a fucked up individual. Okay. So I said all that to say this, through volume, you're going to also learn a lot about your value, right? Like when I'm with girls, the number one compliment I always get is about my eyes. I never thought my eyes were special, but the girls always like, "Oh my God, your eyes are so green. Your eyes are so green. Your eyes are green. You're so beautiful eyes. I love the color of your eyes." That, and then women the number one thing they always tell me, like, "God, you're such a hard worker. Like you're just like one of the hardest working people I know." It's like, you're always hard working. And women, they're really turned on by that. Like if you're a man that's always working and like on your purpose and like, not just sitting around being like a lazy fuck. They really like that, because like you're being a man. And that's what they're attracted to, like a working man. And it makes them want to be like, well, shit, I'm going to go in the fucking kitchen and cook and clean and take care of this man. Right. But for going back on the volume thing too, right? So I think the majority of men just misunderstand how much volume it's going to take to A, find a good woman, and more importantly, B, develop the skills that you need to become the man that has the skills to go anywhere in the world, regardless of your age, regardless of your looks. Okay. If you truly have game and you truly understand women, like the lowest KPI I have, the lowest, key performance indicator of a real good player is he can go anywhere in the world and he could at least pull one new girl a month. If you can go anywhere in the world and pull one new girl a month, hot girls too, not no fucking behemoths, okay? Not some chick with her own gravitational pull. That's what I'm talking about, a good-looking girl. Okay, she doesn't have to be like a 10 or 9 or whatever. But if you can consistently pull 6, 7s, 8s within a 1 month period, one chick per month, you're a G. Congratulations. You're a G. That's the first step of the game. Okay, because there's another thing I'm going to do after this. So I'm going to draw the whiteboard and show you the whole timeline and the whole thing regarding the process of seduction to finding a good woman from start to finish. So I'm going to draw that as well. So if you could do that, though, you're a G. And the thing is this too, the majority of you guys, you don't feel good about yourself because some of you guys like so jaded and messed up with women because you only talk to a couple of women. You have like 100% bad like interactions with them because your amount of numbers is so low that you just think, oh, all women are trash. All women suck. All women are fucking garbage. And it's just not true. I would argue. Well, okay, you guys know how I feel about American women, but there are more good women in the world than there are all American women, including the good women here too. Outside in South America alone, just South America, I ran the numbers on ChatGPT. Okay, in South America, not including Central America, just South America, there are more skinny, feminine, attractive women than there are all women in America. Just South America. That doesn't include Africa. That doesn't include Europe. That doesn't include Asia. That doesn't include Australia. Okay. And that doesn't include Central America as well. So when you run the numbers and you think about it, you can find success and happiness on this planet, especially because you're a man. Imagine if you're a woman, you're like going to go try to go look for love, like globally. Like there's places you just can't go because like you'll get fucking beaten and raped because you're a woman. Like as a guy, at least you could fight back or like run away fast. You know, like you're one of the two, you're fight or flight, right? But think about like how awesome it is to be a man. Like I look at women, I'm like, just no, I would never ever want to be a woman, ever. They're like, you could tell me you could live forever, MLD. You wouldn't have to die, but you'd have to be a woman. I'd like, fuck that shit, kill me. Fucking, I'm not gonna be a woman. I do not want to be a woman at all. I don't want a period. I don't want tits. I don't want to be weak. I don't want people who have the ability to rape me. No thanks. I do not want to be a woman. So when you frame things from a mathematical perspective, a global perspective too, your perspective is if it's black pilled, if it's negative, if it's pessimistic about, you know, your potential outcomes, that's your bias. You have a negative bias. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. With discipline and focus, you can achieve almost anything. Do you understand that, guys? Discipline and focus, you can achieve almost anything. That's what I constantly have a journal here. I'm going to show you. Okay. Actually, I can't show you because you'll see all my private stuff. But actually, I can't. I want to show you because it's like right here. This is one of my. I have many journals, but this is what I do for like my mental health and my inner game, which you guys should do too. And hide your journal, lock it up in a safe that nobody can read it. But you know, I always write that consistently. That was the last thing I wrote here. Discipline and focus is the only answer. Discipline and focus is the only answer. As a man, discipline and focus. Okay. Discipline and focus can get you whatever you want in this life. 99% of what you want. Like if you're 45 and you want to be a linebacker for the fucking, you know, Dallas Cowboys, probably not going to happen, right? But as a man, like I always say, is like if you're a guy, if you're 45, you ruined your fucking life, you could still go to the gym, you could still get fucking jacked, you could still study, and you could still make an online business, and you could still make 6 figures. All it takes is discipline and focus. Discipline to do the work, discipline to study, discipline to do things when you don't feel like it. The one thing that he says, if you don't like doing something, you're never going to succeed. He is right. But there is a degree that you can force yourself to do things that you don't like and still become good at it. You just have to control your mind. Okay. The head pickup artist guy that works with us, like the cold approach guy, he's a great friend of mine. You guys know him as Pommy Pickup. And he always says, he's a very logical, smart guy from Romania. And he always says, always execute the program. And he talk about just going to talk to the girls because he's a computer guy. He's like, just execute the program. Just execute the program. Just make the approach. Even if it's a bullshit approach, even if you just walk up to her and you say hi, you made the approach. That is a W. The only L you take in life as a man is do nothing. That's the L. The L is for loser. The L is for lazy. The L is for limiting yourself. Okay. There are successful men of every color, every size, every creed, every religion around the world. There's successful Japanese guys, Korean guys, black guys from Canada, black guys from America, black guys from the UK, black guys from Australia. There's successful Indians. There's successful white people. There's successful Asian people. There's successful Arabs. Discipline and focus. You want to talk about the number one enemy to discipline and focus? This fucking CIA spy device right here. This thing is the number one focus and discipline killer. You know, you have to use your phone. Don't let your phone use you. Okay. Discipline and focus to do volume over a long period of time is practically a guaranteed W. Okay, let's go back to Big Papa Hormozi, see what else he has to say.
All right, and the thing that is required is almost always higher, or sorry, your capability is always higher than what is required. But the thing is that you might not know it yet. And so I've had so many times in my life that it's become my de facto operating principle. Like I got stuck in trying to grow muscle for a really long time. And this was before I took testosterone. All right, so to be very clear, I've taken testosterone exogenously, injected inside of me, and gotten all the man juice. But this was before that. And I was able to put on like another 20 or 30 pounds, like 7 years into lifting. And the main thing was I ended up saying, well, I wonder what would happen if I made it my job to lift all day. And I was like, well, what does that mean? So I lived at a gym, obviously, because I had my own gym. And I set a timer to work out every 45 minutes. So I'd set up 3 exercises. And every 45 minutes, I'd go in the gym and I'd hit 1 set on all of them and I'd go back to work. And I was doing 9 or 10 sets every day, right? Which is a lot of sets. And I did it every day. And so what ended up happening is that like in a matter of 4 weeks, I put like 15, 16 pounds on. And I was like, holy, and it broke me through all these plateaus of size and strength that I had been stuck at for years. And so then later I was like, let me see if I can do it for 6 weeks and do it even more volume. And that's what ended up happening. Now to be clear, some people have different genetics. Some people have, their joints can't take it, whatever. But the point is that the solution set we have to think about is like, how can I do more? And the answer to that question, the thing that's stopping you is the constraint of the business. All right. And so many of you guys have heard the story of the pottery class where you have.
Right. And I said this, and again, going back to that, effort is the great equalizer. Discipline and focus and giving effort. Okay. Do you guys get it? So if you see a girl and you think she's hot, but she would never like a guy like me, L. Okay. Anything but approaching her is an L. Okay. I saw a girl one time. She was a beautiful girl, Japanese girl. I was coming home from the gym. This is in Tokyo. This is last year. It was right before I went to Bangkok, 2024. Okay. And she was stunning. This girl was so fucking hot. This girl was beautiful. And I'm coming up from the gym and I could feel her checking me out. I could feel her like staring at me. We're walking in the streets, right? Walking in the streets. And I could have been like, well, she doesn't speak Japanese. Or I mean, she doesn't speak English. Obviously, she fucking speaks Japanese. I don't speak Japanese that well. She doesn't speak English. She's probably not into foreigners. She has headphones in her ears, right? And I'll be honest with you, I pussied out. I did. But I am a man who lives like accountability. So we were crossing the street. She went to the right. I went to the left. I went to the supermarket. Because I was prepping to go to Bangkok. And I went to buy some chicken breasts. I'll never forget. I bought some chicken breasts, some sweet potatoes, and some like Japanese spices that I like to put in the rice cooker, right? And then I'm in there, of course, my hardest judge. I'm like, you pussy, you fucking faggot, like, which you shouldn't do. But I'm like, you're supposed to be this fucking pickup guy. You're supposed to be talking about dating. And you see a super hot girl, you see she's into you, you're a coward. You fucking, because I'm like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have this, and I don't have this. And I was like, you know what? God damn it, I'm right. Because I hold myself accountable. I said, fuck it. So I went back out of the supermarket. I walked to the left. I was just like, I'm just going to just see wherever she walked. Perfect timing. She was coming out of a Tully's coffee shop. It's like a chain in Japan. She's coming out of Tully's. She has her headphones on. And I just walk up to her and I'm just like, hi. And she smiled big and she took her headphones out. She's like, hi. So I was like, how are you? She's like, I'm good. I was like, you getting some coffee? She's like, yeah, it's my day off. How about you? And we started talking, right? We started chatting. And let me see if I have the text messages. I think I deleted them. I did. It's quite a while away. But anyways, so we started chatting. I got her info, right? And then by the time I walked home, she was like, thank you for approaching me today. You made me so happy. That was like a Tuesday. We set a date for that Friday night. And we were both very happy at the end of the night. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Wayne Gretzky said it, and it's so true. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I could have said a million things. I could have been like, there's no way she's interested in, how old was I at the time? Just no way. Because she was like 23, 24, and I was 38. I could have been like, oh, there's no way she'd be interested in me, you know, because some foreigners go to Japan and they get this whole complex. Like, if you're not white, you're not going to be successful with girls, which is like the dumbest, gayest thing I've ever heard. Those guys fall into their own cope. Like, oh, he only got her because he's white. He only got her because he's white. Right. I could have been like, oh, I look more like some, you know, racially ambiguous fucking third worlder, you know? I could have been like, maybe she doesn't like guys who are, I don't know, whatever insecurity you got, right? She doesn't like me because I don't have a fucking blue eyes, or I'm not Japanese. Like some girls, like some Japanese girls, like really fucking racist. Like they don't like, oh, foreigner, get away from me, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, you have to take the shot. And there is no, listen to me very close. Everybody else is going to lie to you and going to try to sell you something. Okay. I'm telling you this here for free because I actually am crazy enough to be dedicated to the mission of saving men and fixing dating lives, because that's why all of America is fucked up. Everybody else can say, oh, you need to do photo shoots. Oh, you need a perfect Instagram. Oh, you need this. You need that. You need that. No, you don't. You need to be brave, and you need a lot of experience. And there's no way around it. There's no way around it. I want to just ask real quick, Dr. B, you talk. I know you're pretty decent with the ladies. So I've pulled quite a few early 20s chicks. Dr. B, two things. How many women have you approached and asked on a date? And then how many dates have you been on in your life? I personally have, I don't remember how many girls I've approached, but I know I've been on a bare minimum of 1,000 dates in my life, because I've had sex with like close to like 330 something chicks. And so that's about like a 30 something % close rate, give or take. And so I have been on 1,000+ dates, because I've also been dating since I was like, I really started dating when I was 17. So now I'm 39, so 22 years, you know? So 1,000 dates and like 330 something closes. Okay. Do I seem like a guy who lacks confidence? Do you guys know why I have so much confidence? It's because I've been rejected. Guys, I've been slapped in the face. People have spit in my face before. Dudes have tried to like beat me up because I've like cold approached some girl and it was like his friend, like, get away from her, you know? And so, you know, no, you haven't, like, no, Dr. B, I'm talking about like total women you have asked out on a date. Total women in your life you've asked out on a date, because it's definitely not 20, and you definitely only haven't hooked up with 10 girls. You dog. But the point I'm trying to make is, they're all going to lie to you. They're all going to say, oh, you just need to optimize your dating apps. You need to do this. You need to do this. Okay. That's like taking a soldier and saying, okay, you're not going to go to boot camp, but we're going to give you an M4. And then we're going to give you like a rocket launcher. And we're going to give you like this state of the art, like nano knife that like cuts this fucking air. It's so sharp. Like goes so sharp. And we're going to give you like the fucking Batmobile. And you're going to have all these things. Guess what? If the dude is still a pussy, if the dude still doesn't have the basic skills, it doesn't matter what you give him. He's gonna fuck it up. Just like you at home, if you don't do the basic skills, the basic volume needed to be successful with women, and to be a complete definition of successful with women, you know how to source women, date women, have sex with women, get in a relationship with women, and the woman follows you, submits to you, and is happy supporting you and your mission in the relationship. If you cannot do that, you need to do more volume. And every man, if you want to have a successful relationship, you have to do that. That is the only way a relationship works. You as the man have to make the approach. You as the man have to set the date. You as the man have to initiate the bedroom conversation and say, hey, let's go somewhere quiet. Let's go this, right? You're the one that's going to have to initiate sex. She is going to be the one that says, hey, I want you to be my boyfriend, right? Because you shouldn't ask her. She should be the one asking you. And then it's up to you to lead her and guide her in that relationship as she submits to you and supports you. That right there, if you can do that, you are a G. You are a fucking player. You're a pimp. You are better than literally 95% of men, because most guys in relationships are workhorses. You know what I mean? If you add online dating, yeah, it's 100 plus. Exactly. Total dates about 25 plus. Exactly. You know, you have to do numbers. You have to do numbers. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. And watch, he's going to elaborate more. Because when I saw this, I was like, this is what I've been telling people about friggin' dating success. And again, I'm telling you guys, if you're watching me now, go watch some other coaches and listen to the bullshit they say, okay? If they're not telling you got to do volume, 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 and they're trying to sell you a shortcut, you're cooked. You're cooked, okay? You're not going to win.
A teacher, he assigns 2 classes. You guys, you will get graded on making the best pot. So the quality of your pot is what I'm going to grade you on. And the other class, he said, I'm going to grade you on the number of pots that you make. And at the end of the semester, this team, the quality team had made 1 pot and it was decent. And then the team that had just done sheer volume of pots, not only did they make way more pots, their pots were better. And so the thing is that kind of like the Napoleon quote, quantity takes on a quality unto itself. Like you get better by doing more. And so that is why there's this tied relationship between the two that's massively linked that people underestimate. And so I want to read you this. This is from my internal sales handbook that I have for my sales team, because I want to set, like, this is the culture of acquisition.com. Like we ask, how can we do more, right? How can we do more? Now, leverage is a part of doing more, inputs and outputs. Like if we can get more output with leverage, let's do it, right? So let me read this to you because I think it'll frame how we think about this. Many people say they want to be in the top 1% or 0.1% or even 0.01%, but saying that has zero bearing on whether it happens. Achievement comes from actions, not aspirations. So let's get real. To be the top 1%, you need to enter a room of 100 people and leave number 1. To be the top 0.1%, you need to enter a room of 1,000 people, like a local high school, and leave number 1. To be the top 0.01%, you need to enter an arena of 10,000 people and leave number 1. Think about it, a stadium. And in a battle to the death in that stadium, you have to come out on top. You beat everyone, not almost everyone, everyone. And so if you have the goal to be in the top 0.01%, do you think that you can live a normal life? Do you think that you can keep the same friends? Do you think that you can keep the same hobbies? Do you think you can stay up late and sleep in on weekends? Do you think that you don't have to sacrifice what average people care about?
And here's another thing too. I'm going to tell you guys this right now, okay? If you want to get good with girls, all right? Typically, if you're bad with girls right now, your friends are bad with girls too, okay? Betas roll with betas. And when you're a guy that says to yourself, you know what? I'm just going to figure this fucking girl thing out. I'm just going to figure this shit out. Once you start getting success and you start bringing girls around, those beta friend of yours, they are going to 9 times out of 10 turn on you. They're going to get jealous. They're going to start hating on you. It's the dark side of human nature. I'm sorry to tell you this. You know, success is you got to endure a lot of pain to get to the top in anything. But you got to leave those fucking dudes behind. You know, that was a big reason why when I was 26 and I was like, you know what? Fuck America. I'm leaving, bro. I wanted to get away from my friend group. I wanted to get away from everybody, you know, because they were fat, sexless, smoking weed all the time. No drive to go out and get a job, make money, hustle, make a business, none of that. That's their choice. That's fine, but it's not what I wanted to do with my life. And I knew if I stuck around those guys, that was going to be me. And it's funny because I set out on that journey to go to Japan and be the man. And I like found a group of like players out there. And like we had like a little group chat and we were always like dating chicks and stuff. I got to tell you, man, Japan, like 2012, 2013 Japan, way, way better than the Japan it is now. It's fucking Indians and Muslims raping all these bitches all over the place now. It fucking sucks, dude. It's still better than America. But like, that was like, You know, Abe was still in office. That was good times. That was goddamn good times. Good memories, you know? And I mean, look at the smile on my face. Wasn't even planning on bringing that up, but like that's the reward you get when you choose bravery, when you choose courage, right? I wanted it so bad that I had a 2014 Toyota Tacoma, right? I got it on a loan. My car payment was like $480. I was like fucking scraping by trying to pay that shit in 2012, right? And I just remember like I was like, damn, I got this car payment and like I want to fucking go to Japan. But I remember when I got that approval letter and I passed everything and then I got the visa. I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm already in my mind. I was like, I'm already fucking, you know, not where I want to be. I don't want to be where I am here just because I have to make a car payment. And I fucking called the dealership. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I can't make the payments on this car. I'm leaving it on the corner of, you know, this road and this road. The keys in the visor. I'm really sorry. I just fucking left it there. And then I went home. And the next day I went to the fucking airport and went to Tokyo, you know? And, you know, here we are a couple million later, you know, but you got, again, it's a risk I took, but I knew where I am, okay, at the time is not where I wanted to be. So if you are right now where you are and you don't want to be there, then the only logical conclusion is to take action to get out. And it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter your doubts, your insecurities, any of that. None of that fucking matters. All that matters is you got to take action to get out. You know, Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. You know what I mean? If you're in a bad spot, and guys, I've been in through bad spots. There have been times when I've been like fucking cripplingly depressed and I was just in a bad spot. I thought like the whole world was crushing down on me. I got some like stomach issues in 2021 that like I thought were gonna fucking kill me. I thought I had stomach cancer. I don't think I've ever told that on a live stream. I think that's the first time. Yeah, I had some really bad stomach issues in 2021. I had to like go to the fucking doctor and they like shoved that camera up my ass and you know they were like this brutal Japanese doctor. They had to put it down my throat too. And like I woke up in the middle of the anesthesia and I was like choking on the fucking camera because they gave me like a bitch made Japanese male fucking anesthesia amount. And I woke up with the middle with like this shit like down my throat. You know, I just got out of a bad breakup and I was like fucked up in the head, not feeling good, like feeling depressed and shit. And then like my body's failing on top of that. And I just like lost a fuckload of money in crypto too. And I just like all this bad shit was happening to me. And I was just like, fuck, dude, I want to kill myself. This is terrible, you know? But I knew one, I'm never going to kill myself because fucking just dumb, you know? Two, I'm kind of a pussy. I don't think I have the balls to kill myself, if I be real. I'll go fight a guy in an octagon, no problem. Like kill myself, I'm like, just in case hell's real, I don't want to do that, you know? But I just knew that like the only way was forward. You know, staying in a defensive position, defensive cry in the corner position, like no. One of my favorite quotes from Arnold Schwarzenegger is, I say it often on the channel. He's like, everybody pities the weak. Jealousy you have to earn. I do not want to be pitied. I do not want charity. I do not want those things. And neither should you. You should want the best for yourself. And the best for yourself is within your grasp because you are a man and you can do it. Okay? You got to remember those things. You got to remember the three things I've been telling you: discipline, focus, and effort. If you do those three things day in and day out on this one singular task, discipline, focus, effort. You will succeed. There's nothing magical about it. It's just logic. He talks about it with the muscles, you know, every day, every 45 minutes, he did the same 3 sets of exercises every 45 minutes. Okay. Jason is saying self-love and fulfillment. No, it's not like, no, it's not that complicated. It's simple. Discipline. I'm going to do what I know to do. Focus. I'm only going to do that. Effort. I'm going to give it my all when I do the thing I know I need to do every single day. That's it. That is it. If you suck at learning how to computer program, discipline, focus, effort. Every day, sit down, crank it out. Don't type for 5 minutes, check Twitter, check YouTube. I'm going to start downloading dating apps. Okay, I'm going to jerk off. Okay, I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to smoke some weed. I'm going to have 1 drink. I'm just in 2. Okay, I'm going to watch 1 show. No. Discipline, focus, effort. That's it. If you just made the promise to yourself and you say, you know what? I am just going to walk up to every attractive girl that I see, no matter the circumstance, and just say hi. And I'm going to do that for a year. You're telling me you wouldn't get a girlfriend? Let's talk about sales, right? Let's say you have to do door-to-door sales. They're doing solar, right? A lot of guys do solar. A lot of guys do, internet. We'll just do solar. Solar is pretty easy. Let's say you go in a subdivision, you knock on 300 houses. Everybody says no. Okay, well, just do the next 300 and then do the next 300 and do the next 300. And just like what he said with the pots, they had one group of people. They said, we just want you to make the best pot. And then they had one group of people like, we just want you to make as many pots as possible. And remember, I've always used this kind of analogy because the truth is, universal. I wasn't copying Alex, but I always said throwing a dart at a bullseye. If I give you 1 dart and I'm like, hit the bullseye, you throw it, you don't hit it, you're like, darts suck. That's what you guys do a cold approach or any kind of approach. You see a girl, I'm going to go talk to her. She's like, fuck you, go to hell. You voted for Trump, whatever psychotic shit they say. And you're like, this sucks. Women suck. I hate my life. Going back to the darts. But if I gave you 100 darts, right? You telling me you wouldn't hit a bullseye? Because after like the 4th or 5th one, you're going to be like, all right, like when I throw like this, it goes to the left. So let me like move my hand to the right. And as a man, your natural problem solving mechanism will start kicking in. Girls are just the same, guys. You guys just get your feelings involved because you're emotionally stimulated by the woman's beauty or how you feel. And the only reason you're nervous is because you have no experience doing it or very little experience. That's the only reason you're nervous. There's no other reason. Anybody do competitive sports? Like, remember when you're first going to go spar, when you're going to go spar somebody, kickboxing, boxing, jujitsu, you're going to do a couple rounds in wrestling, whatever. Remember the first time you go out there, you're like, oh, fuck, right? You get hit in the face, you're like, oh, that sucked. It wasn't that bad. Let me see if I can fucking get this guy back. Or maybe you go do a couple jujitsu matches and you get tapped like 4 or 5 times in a row. Eventually, you're going to catch somebody. Right? And, well, you want to see what Uncle Fab says. Yeah, meeting girls is the issue. If you work on yourself, you don't meet women all day. Both can be fixed. No, bro, there's girls everywhere. There's girls everywhere. Okay. Yeah, Jalen, perfect example. That was me first time sparring. I look forward to sparring now. And let me tell you something too, because I've come back to America now, guys. Okay. It has never been easier to cold approach girls right now in the States. It's never been easier. And if you actually have a guy, you're a guy that you got your shit together and you can have a conversation with a woman, you know, one of the most common things I've been hearing from American chicks that I've been hanging out with is like, they tell me, like, I just feel so peaceful around you, you know, because I just got my shit together. And like, if she goes, I'll, okay. Girls like a bus. If you miss one, guarantee you, another one's just going to pop on by. Another thing is when you don't do volume, you like glorify the little bit of things that you do. Right. And you put yourself into like a mindset that is like a scarcity mindset. Nowadays, like if a girl is like dating a girl, she's acts a fool. I'm like, look, I'm 39. I still got plenty of runway. And I'm getting better every year. Like I literally, I mean, you guys see me. I'm fucking here, like paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to fucking learn from people like Alex here. You see the logo? Same one. To learn from Alex and to level up. Like, I know my value is only going to go up. And you should know that too. Some of you guys, the reason you don't have confidence in yourself is because you know you're not giving it your all. You know? AAJ, let me read this one because you gave me some memberships today. It says, volume is important, but I think you should increase your odds by going after friends of friends. The odds are higher, and if it doesn't work out, you just turn out a friend and repeat the process. So I disagree with you, and here's why. Okay. So you're becoming, that's how a guy becomes, domain dependent, right? A lot of guys like are really good at online game, but they're terrible when it comes to cold approach or night game. And when it gets to the point where you're like, see a girl in the wild, you're like, oh, but in your head, you're like, oh, but I don't know her. I don't know this girl. Like, I have to go. If you have a friend of a friend, then I can fucking, then I can make it happen. No. If you need to throw photo shoots, if you need to throw parties, if you need to have a Bugatti, if you need to have muscles, if you need any of these things, that is a crutch. That is a crutch. You have to fear no woman and 100% delusionally believe in yourself. You know what's crazy? So I went here and they cater you food, and they have like a catering staff. And last time I was here was in June 27th. And there was this like cute girl that I walked in, and I had breakfast, and she saw me. She was like, "Hey, Jonathan." I was like, "You fucking remember me?" But I've become such an it's going to sound like I'm jerking myself off, but bear with me. Okay. But I've become such an exceptional person that I have become a memorable man because of how I carry myself. I'm often told by the men in the community that I meet, they're like, dude, you just have so much aura. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out what that slang means because I've been living in Tokyo for like fucking since 2017. I'm catching up with slang here. I like the whole fridge and snack analogy. That's really funny. I'm just picking up on that. That is hilarious. The fridge is always protecting the snack. That's fucking great. I love American guys. You guys are so great. So funny. But you just become that nigga, bro. You just become that guy. And you don't even try. You're not even trying. You're like just living a Tuesday. People are like, I remember you. You're that man. Thank you, bitch. Like, goddamn, So It all comes with repetition. Now, here's the sad and crazy part too. The negative repetition side is also true, because when you don't take action, your doubts compounds, your insecurity compounds. Okay. The disbelief in yourself also grows. You're never flatlining through life, boys. You're either going up or you're going down. There is no, oh, I'm just maintaining. Because if you're maintaining, you're actually giving effort just to maintain. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. That's it. Period.
Do you think that they will support you when you start to pass them? Do you think anyone will think this is healthy, balanced, or logical? No. And they're right. But it doesn't matter. When you want to be the 0.01%, there's no greater waste of time than explaining yourself to people who actively don't support you. It's normal for people to not understand why you do what you do. I say this because you cannot make yourself exceptional and live a normal life. To make yourself exceptional, you must live an exceptional life. And an exceptional life does not always mean better. It just means that it's so different that most people will reject it, and you. And when that happens, you must reject them as well. Oil and water do not mix. That is what it really means to be exceptional. You must become the exception. And so this is how we welcome the new guy. Actually, there's another page, so I'll finish it up. So I routinely get asked the secret to success, and it just comes down to this. Number one, get better. Number two, never stop. If you do only those two things, you will win on a long enough time horizon.
Yeah, like I said, get better and never stop. Get better and never stop. Never stop. I'm telling you, the moment you take a break is the moment someone starts to pass you. You know, I'm 39 and I'm still trying to like maximize my game. I'm 39, I'm still trying to maximize my earning abilities. I'm 39 and still trying to maximize my investment strategies. If I haven't stopped, why should you? And again, you're going to, you're going to be, hold on, I'm at one of my buddy's houses and he's coming home. My fucking knee hurts so bad. God, that hurt. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, like you gotta like, you can't live an average life and want to be above average, guys. You know, it's funny. I never liked the taste of like cheap beer, like Bud Light and like all that, like just dirty body fucking trash beer. Just never. When I was young, like 18, 19, I think to this day, I just never drank it. But a bunch of the group of friends that the ones that actually ended up leaving, they always loved drinking that shit. And I was just like, this is fucking disgusting. I don't want to drink this shit, right? And the average thing to do was to drink beer. The average thing to do was to always go to parties and get fucked up. And then when you're super fucked up, then you have the balls to talk to girls, right? That was the average thing to do. I did none of those things. The average thing to do is get a job, go to college, get your degree, get a job, work 9 to 5, blah, 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 blah. You're going to be the average. You're going to end up getting divorced. If you even get married, you're going to get divorced. You're the average. You're going to be fat. The average. You're going to be broke. Average. You're going to be unhappy. Average. You're going to be on fucking some kind of medicated drug or fucking whatever vice they have out here in America right now. And again, that goes back to being brave. A lot of people, they sacrifice their dreams. They sacrifice everything because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be without their peer group. They don't want to be without, support. They don't want to be without, validation from people. The only validation you need is your own validation, right? That's like when I go on, like, you never see me like crash out on Fresh and Fit. Like a girl says some shit to me, right? Like anytime like a girl says some shit to me, I'm just like, just another broken whore in the streets of Miami, just another one. because I know who I am. I'm the man. I've been through hell and high waters. I've been through all bad things. I've been through all good things. And I know I was the one who did them both. I was the one who made both happen, right? And the only thing you could say I fear is like getting some disease that I just fucking, that's incurable, you know? Then I'm just like, okay, well, I gotta like, you know, just find peace and wait till I die. You know, it is what it is. So other than that, though, I know if I get in a bad circumstance or anything bad happens to me, because I've just been through so much, I know I'm not only going to be okay, I'm going to be better than I was because, you know, I'm a guy that overcomes. But if you don't take risk, you don't take action, you don't do the volume necessary, you're never going to make it happen. Ever. You know, will you be on FNFs again soon? I don't know, maybe. Myron told me to come back. Like, I should be back by now. Actually, I was supposed to go back. But so I was supposed to go back and meet, like, Nick Fuentes was supposed to go down there, and I was supposed to meet him. That was like actually like last Friday that was supposed to happen, but then the whole Charlie Kirk situation happened and that got canceled. So it'll happen eventually, but yeah, I'm right there. But again, my top priority right now, following the guidance of Papa Hormozi. And I'll tell you what he said to me. Okay. When I was there and getting coaching from him, you know, I'm in this room, like everybody paid $100,000 to be there. You know, there's 8 of us, right? I'm 8 of all the people. There's like 8 of us, you know, 8 total. I'm one of the 8. And Alex himself, he was like, I just don't think you're working hard enough. I was like, but like, what am I going to do? Argue with Alex? Like, no, fuck you, Alex. You know, like when I talk to you guys about being a good student, like one of the most unattractive things you can do in life is be argumentative. To be an argumentative person is the most unattractive. Like when a guy is argumentative with me, I want to beat his ass. I want to physically beat the fuck out of him. I just be like, shut the fuck up. Shut your stupid fucking ass up. If you paid here to come work with me and to learn from me, shut the fuck up and do what I say or fuck off. Because I don't have time to fucking deal with your issues. We're here to accomplish a fucking goal. I don't have the audacity nor like the lack of fucking self-awareness to start arguing with somebody who's ahead of me and better than me. And I'm not going to make up a bunch of excuses to excuse the fact that it's all my fault. You have to be internally strong to do this. But I'm telling you, if you don't, you are fucked. You're fucked. You're going to start getting involved in some weird shit. You're going to start getting involved with weird girls because they're fucked up too, and you won't fix your problems and she doesn't fix her problems. So you're 2 fucked up people and you get attracted together. If you don't fix your problems, they only get worse. If you're fat and you don't fix your diet, guess what? You only get fatter. If you're weak, you don't go to the gym, guess what? You're only going to get weaker. If you're afraid to talk to girls, you're afraid to shoot for your stars and go for your dreams, you're afraid, you're just going to become a bigger pussy as the years go on. Again, you know, that's the beauty of being a man. And the great thing about right now, because let's just say you're a guy and you're at 0.0 right now. You're at 0, okay? But you're like, fuck this. I'm going to start making improvements on my life. The majority of dudes in America are checked out. The majority of dudes in America are simps. The majority of dudes in America, they're cowards. The majority of dudes in America don't stand up to women who are like nasty and mean to them. They don't stand up to their boss. They don't stand up to anything. You might think, oh, man, this is so much work. This is so much work. But the reality is, you don't need to be like me, like super genius, super player, super rich. You don't need to do that shit. You just need to be better than the average guy and you'll have a better life. You don't need to be six-pack abs guy. You just don't need to be, you just need to be not fucking fat guy. But if you decide to shoot for the top, then like the women will find you. They will find you. Because they're going to sense you're different from the rest of the guys. Like if you're in America, and I've noticed this too, right? Because like, I'm not like incredibly super attractive or anything. I know like I'm a good looking guy, but I'm not like, oh my God, this guy like makes me want to cream my panties kind of guy, right? Some girls, yeah. But because I just kind of look like an average guy, like I'm not like super giga jacked or whatever. I'm not like super giga tall, right? I look like an average guy, and women here are so jaded with all these guys being such big faggots that they sometimes just treat me like I'm a faggot too. They're like, oh, you're just another one of these guys. I'm like, actually, bitch, wait a minute. Settle down, One of these chicks I was hanging out with, I made fun of her. And I said, your legs must be so strong from jumping to all those conclusions, She was like, God damn, this guy really checking me, But it wasn't like a non-confrontational way. But what I'm trying to say is like, it's like you have so much more freedom and power if you just decide to live a life of, like I say, money, muscles, game, frame. Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. Four tenets to live by. And everything that I've done, make money. I've literally lost millions of dollars. Make muscles. Both of my fucking ACLs are torn. My left pectoral is fully torn. Gym, fighting, living life. It is what it is. Okay? Learn game. I have been devastatingly heartbroken before, like crying and fucked up in the head, like really bad. It's happened. Hold frame, self-esteem, boundaries. I've been walked all over the majority, like I would say from, I started sticking up for myself hardcore like around 24, 25. But I've been treated like shit by bosses, by people, by girls. There have been periods of my life where I was like depressed and, eating to like silence the emotional pain that I felt. I didn't have like this meteoric uprise, but volume. You don't just start trying to level up and just like exponential. You go like, this is flipped, so I gotta like do it for you guys home. So you go like, and then you hit your goal. Okay. That's, dude, Uncle Fabs, this is very good. Genuine dude, this is another thing that kind of like, I don't want to say black pills you, but like genuine female interest is so different to the bits when you get to you get when you lowball. I think what you're saying is like and I know what he's trying to say. When you are with a girl that is genuinely into you, okay? You could never, like for guys that like settle for prostitution and they're like, oh, everything's transactional. They've never been with a woman that really, 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 really likes you. The way they kiss you is different. The way they use their tongue is different. The way they suck your dick is different. The way they make love to you is different. The way they pour everything that they have into you. They will give money to you. They'll fucking, dude, I dated a girl like when I was like needing to get the hair transplant. She's like, if you need me, like I'll donate some of my hair. It's no problem. I was like, God, this girl's the nicest girl in the world. When you meet women that genuinely love you and have genuinely interest in you, that too, right, also helps you not get finessed in the future. All you need is like genuine desire to feel it one time from a woman for like, and you're in a relationship with her like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. Even 1 year when you're in a relationship with a woman who genuinely is attracted to you, genuinely, Not with you because money, not with you because she's using you. Okay, none of that shit. But she genuinely likes you for you. You have like a built-in bullshit detector for the rest of your life. So I can see a girl trying to finesse me a mile away. You are never going to see some shit like MLD got finessed by this girl. There's never going to be some like expose of like, oh, baby, I love you. Let me send you some money. Let me send you this. Please love me. But you ain't never going to find that shit about me. You ain't never going to find that about me. You'll find a trail of broken hearts. That's about it. No, sir. No, sir. And that's the thing. When you lead with who you're not, you're like, oh, I have, you got to put, I have money. I have clout. I have great body. I'm tall and white. I'm this, I'm that. Whatever shit you lead with other than you, eventually this will be taken from you. And then you're naked. And then you got all that shit. Look, perfect example is Wes Watson. Jacked. I'd say Wes Watson's a good-looking guy. Jacked, good-looking, clout, multi-millionaire. Bugatti, big house. No game, no frame, not strong enough to lead with who he is. No love. That's the worst fate. That is the worst fate, to have all the material items in the world and nobody fucking loves you. That's worse than hell to me. And if you're a person, you're like broke and you're trying to make it happen, but you got a girl that genuinely loves you and supports you and is into you, you're already rich, bro. You're rich. You're rich in ways that literally money cannot buy. So I've been rambling. This is we got to go. This is like 35 more minutes of him talking.
The problem is people convince themselves they no longer want something once they see the experience of how hard it really is. So
exactly. I'm going to share it again. I got to jump back in. They talk themselves out of it when they like realize how much, I don't want a girlfriend. Oh, I don't want this. Oh, she's not that hot. No, you just realize there's effort in front of it. You're too lazy and you want to jerk off and lay down all day, drink beers with your pals. And now you're like, oh, I don't want that. I mean, yeah, you do.
I want to set this expectation for you as you head off to practice scripts, mark your calendar and set your alarms. The work begins when your motivation ends. Just win. And so that's from our internal handbook that we have at ACQ for our sales guys. And it's one of the ways that we welcome guys on. And I want to read that to you because I want to frame what I'm talking about today. It seems like a very simple thing, just saying, just do more. But like, it's almost become an art form and something that I have like a deep passion about, which is very odd to say. But more actually has the highest risk-adjusted return move that you can possibly make within the business. Keep my notes a little lower because it cuts off the top. And so it has the highest risk-adjusted return move. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to adjust this because this drives me fucking nuts. Hold on. So let's move this up. Can I do that? All right. Okay. So the reason more has the highest risk-adjusted return for a business or for you is that it's so hard to get something to work, right? Many of you guys have tried anything. You have a new marketing channel, a new sales script, a new offer. You try a bunch of things, and then finally something works. The likelihood that you changing that thing in that...
And again, when you talk about business owners, just apply this to dating, okay? That's all you got to do. Since you're in Las Vegas, you're doing a show with Roll. No, I'm not going to do content with Roll anymore. He's let him do his thing. No.
Next thing working is actually statistically very low. Think about how many different things you had to try before something actually worked. And so the idea is, okay, I have these limited resources. I can allocate them to take a risk and roll the dice. Or I have this thing that I know works, and I need to jam more into that machine, which is why it's the highest risk-adjusted return move. Now, one of the other misconceptions, I think, is that there's a huge preponderance of people who talk about optimization, getting as much as you can for as little as you can. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The difference is that there are optimizers and there are maximizers. Maximizers try to ask the question, how do I get as much as I possibly can? Optimizers ask, how do I get as much as I can out of as little as I can? But when you're looking at returns, maximizers win. So what's the difference between first place, gold in the Olympics, and second in the Olympics, silver, right? 1/10 of a second in a race. But what is the realistic difference, the real world or pragmatic difference between being the best in the world and second best? Everything. And so when you're talking to an Olympian, you're talking to somebody who wants to be the top 1%, 0.01%, 0.00001%. Diminishing returns are still returns. It's you need to do more because you're trying to win, not be cute about saying that you had great return. And I say that
exactly when he says not be cute by saying you got good returns. You know, some of you guys want to pick up girls just so you could go tell the guys that are in your friend group, like, oh, look at this girl I fucked. Look at this girl I fucked. More is the answer. More approaches, more dates, more cold approaches, more shooting your shots online. More. That's the only way you get ahead. Period. Effort, focus, discipline. Discipline, focus, effort. That's it. More. That's the way you solve it. It's that simple. It is truly a simple problem to solve.
This is somebody who was a converted optimizer. So in the earlier part of my life, I really prided myself on doing school with as little work as possible. I was like, you nerds, I was like, you guys needed to study. I can walk in and hit a 91 with no studying. And I'll tell you the story that really, really changed my life. So there's a guy named Kemp Knott, and he was like, and hopefully Kemp, maybe you'll see this. I gave Kemp a hard time. I did when I was in high school. And he was a kid who didn't catch on to stuff as fast. And, Kemp's a successful guy now. He's done great. But this thing happened. So all of high school, I kind of gave this guy a hard time. And when we went to go apply to colleges, I wanted to go to Duke. So Duke's a top 5 school in the U.S. And I didn't get into Duke. I ended up going to Vanderbilt, which is also obviously a great school. But I wanted to go to Duke. And guess who got into Duke? Kemp Knott. And so what was really interesting is that this whole time, like Kemp would go to study hall. He'd be like, teacher, you forgot to assign his homework. Like he was that guy, right? And I honestly just really disliked him. But mostly because it probably just reminded me of my own inadequacies. Of like I was just unwilling to do the amount of work that he was, and I shamed him for doing the amount of work that he did. I was like, you have to work so hard just to try and come close to me, right? But in the end, he got into a better college, and so it was this really humbling lesson for me that it was like none of the colleges cared that I worked less than him. They just cared about who had the best applications and who had the best grades. And it was this really like very eye-opening experience. And so when I went to college, I had a different frame that I was like, well, I'm not going to lose. I want to go here and I want to maximize. I want to study all the hours of the day that I'm not in class, at the gym, or at the cafeteria. I'm in the library. And you can ask anyone that ever went to school if you ever meet them. Like, that's where I was. I was in the library 12 hours a day because I was like, well, if I just study more than everyone, I'll get good grades. And that worked out pretty good, right? And so that's just kind of just a little bit of framing around why I have such a strong affinity for more. Now, I'll give you a second kind of a little bit more heady reason. So I talked about how more is the highest risk-adjusted return. I talked about how diminishing returns are still returns. They're still at the end of they're still output, right? The next piece, though, is that change has a fixed cost, all right, and a variable reward. All right, so let me explain what that means. So if we have this thing that's working, right, and let me see if I can draw this for you guys. I think this is a good visual. Okay, so one moment, please. You guys digging this? You guys enjoying this? All right. So I want you guys to imagine for a second. There we go. So I want you to imagine that this line right here, ooh, nice and wet. How I like it. My markers, calm down, guys. Okay. So I've got this line. This represents your revenue or whatever your current level of activity or output is. Okay. This is output, whatever your thing is. Okay. Now, what happens is most entrepreneurs, they say, you know what, I'm going to change something. All right. And guess what happens? Because they think they're going to change something and things are going to get better, right? You tweak something, you mess around, you change your page, change your script, change your onboarding process, whatever, right? So then what happens? Well, if there's people involved, typically output will go down. You have to retrain the team.
And so this is, again, going back to like, when you guys are like, oh, like this system, this like pickup system didn't work because I tried it for 3 days. So let me go buy this course. Let me go work with this guy. All right, well, that shit didn't work. Let me try this one. Oh, this didn't work. No. And the reality is, all you need to do is consistently give effort in a focused way with discipline to one thing, and eventually you will become a master. It's that simple. It literally is that simple. Okay? Gentlemen, do you understand what I'm saying? My friend, who I think is literally one of the best cold approach artists in the world, okay? This guy, a woman could be dying on the side of the road, bleeding out, and he would go over there and stop the bleeding, be like, hey, do you have an Instagram? Like, this guy doesn't give a fuck. He gives not a single fuck. And it's just because he's been doing it his whole life. I think he's like 650 something bodies right now. He's 41. He's still good looking, still looking young. And just all he does, he is like literally, I think he's literally 100% cold approach. He like sucks at online dating. He really, really sucks. You know? But sees a girl. Does she make my pee-pee tingle? Yes. Hi, how are you? Oh, okay. You want me to go to hell? Okay, have a nice day. Wow, that bitch is crazy, you know? Like, all right, on to the next one, you know? I've seen him talk to a girl and she's like, no. And then he's like, what about your friend? You're cute. What's your name? And then sometimes that works, you know? So like again, going back to it, the only L you take is not doing the approach. That's the only L. Even a half-assed approach and you fall flat on your face is a W. It's a W. Is that Matt Cross? No. That motherfucker has no game, bro. That guy is a nerd. That guy is you like, and that's another thing too. When you have game and you really are that fucking dude, you can see who doesn't have game. I'll tell you right now, I'll run down the list of people who actually have game. Paul, Apex Mindset, Savage. Fucking phenomenal game. King Dre, the man. Offie Kingdom, the man. And when I say game, it's like you can catch a girl, date her, have sex with her, and she falls in love with you, and she's not like talking shit to you in public and publicly disrespecting you and causing you headaches and stress. Wraith as well. Wraith is like not big on the front end on the show, but he does a lot of work with the back end. Joe from Proud Masculine, badass. Who actually have deep understanding of game. Myron for sure has game. Let me see, guys that I like 100% put the stamp on. Donovan Sharp for sure. He has game. But that's I think that concludes my list of people that I know are like, you know, like real fucking G's. Real. It's real as fuck. Not leading with clout, not leading with money, not leading with status, not leading with any, just leading with themselves. Okay. Oh yeah, Cappy too. Cappy's not a pimp, but Cappy is, his woman's in check. Yes, Cappy for sure. For sure. Those are my dudes. Those are my dudes. Right there.
They have to practice. You know, this variable affected two other variables you didn't know.
You want you motherfuckers right, Ryan? Listen, bro. Ryan Stone took the vaccine because his wife told him to.
And so you get, and this is completely based on my observation, you typically get about a 20% decrement or decrease in performance. Okay. And so what this has created for me is my minimum rule of 20%, which is that if something is going to give me a guaranteed 20% decrease in output by me changing it. Now, this is initial. What ends up happening after that is it might not work, and then you stay here, it might be worse, and this goes here, or it might get better, and it comes back up eventually, right? And then maybe you have a 5% higher output here, and now this is now your new baseline. It's a little bit higher than it was before. Now, here's the thing. If you have a 20% guaranteed decrease, and you have the potential for a 5% increase, do you take that bet?
Yes.
No. But I see entrepreneurs every day, myself included, for many years, taking that bet over and over again because I was like, I just have to get better. I just have to get it better. But it was a fallacy. It's not true. Sometimes, like, your business will never be perfect, and you have to accept that fact. It will not be perfect. You will always see things that you could. And the thing is you don't even know if it's going to get better. You just aren't sure if it's cool, good enough, and so you just want to change it. You want to mess with it, right? But the magic is the compounding returns you get when you do the same thing over and over again. You get the.
I see what he's saying. Damn, I even fucking getting caught on my own lesson. Good for me. Good for him. Yeah, no, I mean, that's great. That's really great what he says there. I want to clear this up. Myron's girlfriend cheated on him and not even hot, bro. Like that's just both of those statements are incorrect, my friend. I noticed a lot of DGs have ugly partners. What's the DG? DG? Degenerate guy? I don't know. DG? Dogs? Digs? But yeah, he's right. He's 100% right. It's fucking, it's great. This is why you got to stay learning. I agreed with what I thought was the right thing, but he was saying right there, like, you got to stay on the path, which is so true. It's like, you ever meet a guy? It's like, okay, I'm cutting. And then he's like, okay, now I'm going to bulking. Now I'm cutting. Now I'm bulking. Now I'm cutting. Now I'm bulking. And he just stays looking the same for like years. It's true. You got to like fix one thing, stay on it, accomplish the goal, on to the next one.
This depth of understanding, this depth of skill that happens with repetition, right? If necessity is the mother of invention, repetition is the father of skill. All right. And so coming back to our 20% here, right? This is cute, right? But let's look at what entrepreneurs will normally do. Maybe they'll start seeing some increase here, but what do they do next? They say, you know what? I've got this other idea I have. And so then they get another 20% decrease. Yep. And so they're constantly living significantly below their output means, or your revenue, or whatever your thing is, below what your potential is, because you're constantly changing stuff. And I want to be real with you for a second. If you're a small business owner, you've got, maybe 10, maybe 20 employees, or if you're anything less than that, then like, hear me right now. The amount of resources that you have to implement change are so limited. They're so limited. I pick like one big thing a year that I do, like one.
So he's just going to go into more business talk here, but like, that's the number one thing I wanted to hammer home to you guys, is about how he's saying like, it's universal principle. He's just applying it to business, right? Like I like, my area of expertise is like human psychology and seduction and dating and women. That's what I'm really, really, really good at. Understanding relationships, how to lead and guide a woman healthily in a relationship. That's what I get. Day gamers. Yeah, no, listen, PUA and that's not like, you notice that I didn't label, out of all the guys that I fucking said are actual gangsters, none of those guys are fucking PUAs. PUA guys are good at the front end. And typically what that is, PUA guys, like when they're really good at picking up and having sex, there's a lot of like deception, and there's a lot of like pretending who you are, and like a lot of urgency, and like kind of like that's why a lot of these guys get like rape charges and like sexual assault charges and stuff like that, because they're like finaglers. They have to like, quickly move and like, get in there and get their nuts off and disappear, because they don't really understand how to like get into a woman's mind and have the girl like him for who he is. It's a big difference there. Does it make sense? When you're a gangster, when you're really a real G, you really know your shit. You're not in a rush to do anything for some chick. You go at your own pace, you know your value, and if she doesn't like it, peace. I will find another girl who will. Because guys who are not fucked up in the head these days, not gigantic pussies, not simps, that's rare. And I know I'm none of those things. Plus, I don't have somebody cheerleading me on to get my shit together. I'm not on some trust fund that I got from parents. None of that. I'm my own man. I'm on my own path. I'm rocking out. I'm doing my own thing. I'm a high value guy. I will find another chick. Hot girls are not rare. High value guys that are not pussies, that are not simps, that are not afraid of their own shadows, they're not with no backbone. Like, dude, with who have a backbone, excuse me, that's the rarity, bro. Yeah, PUA communities attract many weirdos. I mean, yeah, like, look, the guys, they do, because like I met these guys, this group of people, there's like this group of like fucking pickup artist guys in Tokyo. Like, these motherfuckers reached out to me. I didn't even know who the fuck these dudes were. I was just doing my thing. I wasn't like trying to be cool or make a scene in Tokyo. I was just live streaming every day, you know? And that's all I was doing. And these guys they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the big badass dudes of Tokyo." I was like, okay, cool. Great. I go hang out with them at their super like big place that, they eventually got kicked out of because they couldn't pay the rent. And I see some girl, some bitch, she's like a 6, Tokyo 6 out of 10. And she's in there like smoking up all their hookah and bossing these guys around. And I walk in there, I'm like, you guys like let this bitch talk to you like that, bro? And it was so funny because they all had no backbone to stand up to this girl. And she tried to do that shit with me, but women know, like a bully, especially like a psychological predator, when they meet somebody with a solid core, when they realize like they can't move you, they're immediately afraid of you, right? So she tried some of that shit on me. She was like, "Can you pass me this?" I was like, "No." Because I knew what she was doing. She's like, "Really? Why not?" I was like, "It's right here. I don't owe you a fucking explanation." So she's acting a damn fool. Finally, they get a little fucking balls because I start saying some shit, and then they don't want to look like pussies in front of me. And fast forward to like a couple weeks later, they don't kick her out of the house. She's still acting a goddamn fool. And they had like this, big screen TV, like 60 inches or something in the living room. And one of my friends was at the house and he told me, and this chick fucking took her high heel off and smashed their big screen TV and broke it with her heels because she crashed out. And I just laughed because the women that like mess with me, the women that like come in like my life and like, date me and stuff, they know if you fucking smash my TV, there will be repercussions. Okay. You will remember the day you fucked up. But women like that, they're in search of a strong man to tell them, "Hey, you need to calm the fuck down and stop it." Because they're looking for structure. They're looking for security because they're like a lost, unkept animal, like wild in the street, shitting and fucking biting people and being crazy. You know? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Not on my watch. But they were like, "We're the fucking PUAs of Tokyo. We did this and we're this and that." I'm like, "Oh, great. Great." And none of these women respect you. And what's even a bigger red flag is when I see a guy keep a girl around that treats him like shit. That for me is the biggest red flag. When a guy doesn't stand up to a woman treating him like shit, that's when I know, like, this guy's cooked. This guy is fucking cooked. But the moral of today's episode, 2 hours in, and listen, if you watch from beginning to end, you have my respect. Okay. But I hope it makes sense to you. This is the one thing this is the truth about attracting women that no one tells you because they want to sell you some shit. They want to finesse you on some shit. Okay. And there is no shortcut. It's not like I get famous and then this, right? Hey, Jay Fusion, you're the man, bro. I really like you. God bless you. Bro, and I hear it all the time. All the time, bro. I'm not gonna say any names, but I'm just gonna say I know of some dude who thinks he has game, met a bitch in the club in Miami. So strike one, she's a girl in Miami. Strike two, met her in the club. Strike three, she's white. Bro, I'm sorry, bro, but some of these white party girls in America are fucking treacherous, dude. And so word on the street is a couple weeks ago, she moved in with him, red flag. She'd been moving in with him. And like 3 weeks ago, she punched him in the face. Okay. And they live in the state of Florida. So let me tell you guys something. If you live in the state of Florida and you're in a relationship with a woman and you're in your home and she strikes you, pick up the phone and call the police because she's going to jail. In the state of Florida, if there's any kind of domestic violence call, when the police show up, somebody's going to jail. And if you don't take action, the problem is just going to escalate. So she punched him in the face. He did nothing. More importantly, he stayed with her. And then recently, she hit him again, called the police, and said, this guy hit me. And he's a Spanish guy. And guess who they took to jail? Come on, darky. Come on, Enrique. You're coming with us. We're going to deport you too. You know? But whose fault is that? It's that guy's fault. Because if you meet a girl in a nightclub, 9 times out of 10, that is ejaculate and evacuate at best. But when you're thirsty for love, you're thirsty for sex because you have no game, you know, you just think, oh, she's so hot, bro. Now you got a record, you fucking dumbass. You know? That's truth. That's where we're at, you know? So you best believe some bitch hits me, I'm fucking calling the police. I will fucking laugh and film her as they are taking her away to jail. And I'll do a fucking YouTube episode about it. I don't like crazy people in my house, though. So that's the game, boys. Volume, volume, volume. Discipline, focus, effort. If not, I hate to break it to you, you're going to die alone.